It's Tabletop Time. I'm Rob.
I'm Jen.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Jazza.
And this is Tabletop Time. Welcome. I'm just going to preface off, first of all, by saying our dice count is absolutely cooked and we don't know why. We think it's a driver issue, but it's not auto-focusing, and so you can't actually read it. So we're going to be extra special careful today to
Somewhere
actually
a podcast listener is chuckling gleefully.
Yep.
Now you know how I feel.
We'll be extra special with it today and let you know all of our roles in advance.
Which we do
and
mostly
they're going to say
for
we
podcast
can't see
listeners.
them anyway because the dice are too reflective.
Yes.
It's true.
We're working on that as well.
There's a lot of stuff very briefly to cover, one of which is I think this is going to be our last official campaign saga ever filmed in the old studio. We're about to move into the new studio, which also means merch sale is ending. Merch sale, 10% off, is nearly over, and I don't know when the next one will be. And the reboot merch is going to be wrapping up very soon too.
Oh,
yeah. So go check it out. Go to the links in the doobly-doo. But yeah, it's worth adding that. Oh, and also thank you patrons for patronising us. No.
Oh my god, I went to the right
Don't
side.
we read them out at the end of the
First
episode?
Yeah.
Don't you?
But they get a little visual one now.
Yeah.
I refuse to read them. I'll read them later. I'll avert my gaze. I
That's
want
a good
to
message, though.
save
I like-
my excitement.
I like that.
I will read it later. I want to
Congrats,
save my
Tris. I'm going
thrill.
to say congrats, Tris. That's cute.
I feel like that's a special one.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be the bad guy for
Oh, a
once.
happy birthday, Tickle Duck.
No, we'll bring it back.
The replay.
That's a special one.
I like that it opens it again.
Yell hair! Christopher's mum has just beaten cancer. That is...
Good work.
That's a very special, very exciting.
That's lovely.
Congratulations. Okay. I think that's pretty much our intro. I think before we get into the gameplay, it's worth just briefly covering a discussion we had after the end of the last episode. Now, you may have sensed in recent episodes there have been some interactions where Dave as the narrator has been a little frustrated by a lack of a plan from the players. I'll let you speak for a bit.
I will say it's very funny because we've got a lovely wiki team that are putting together the wiki, and they've kind of brought to my attention a few things where they're just like, so the glass slipper is mentioned like in episode 3 and then episode 5, and then it's funny.
I knew that.
But no, we just had a discussion about making sure that we were all on the right path and we were all communicating and getting, just making it sound like we were frustrated is probably wrong. I could see it going down a line that was becoming frustrating, and we wanted to quickly reroute that.
Yeah, and I think it's worth bringing up because it's really cool to just put out there. If you want to get into roleplay, it's really good to have an open, healthy discussion about what is and isn't working in roleplay. Don't expect it to be perfect, or if you're watching Critical Role and you're impressed by how everyone is so good at acting and making a story or whatever, role-playing with your friends does not always go like that, and sometimes you just got to figure out where wires are getting crossed and neaten things up together. And I think one of the things that we identified that was helpful for me personally was realizing how much we focus on being in character. But as a result of that, which is great for the storytelling element, but it actually means that we don't do a lot of stepping out of our characters to ask about the world, so we actually can make informed decisions as the character with information they would know. But we as players don't know because we don't step out of character. So that was really interesting.
I was kind of highlighting stuff like you've got to, or I would love it if you would sort of stop asking me to tell you what you should do, but because instead it's like a sandbox where you've got to tell me what you want to do, and then I kind of enable that. But then the response that led to that was like, Jazza was like, well, I don't know what it's like to be a criminal in the thing. And it's like, yes, but Pro does. Like, he is a human trafficker. He was for many years. Like, if anyone knows how to pull off this heist and steal someone,
It's him.
It's probably going to be Pro. So you can say things out of character like, would Pro know something about this? And I'd be like, yeah, or make a roll, and then
And I think as a result of our discussion, we all felt a bit more on the same page and able to step into this next episode with a bit more confidence, which I think is really cool. And is very much worth mentioning, especially as I see Tabletop Time as a channel where we introduce people to these cool hobbies. And that's a really worthwhile thing to be aware of and embrace as you explore tabletop roleplay with your friends and in your communities. So, recap time.
In the last episode, we traded water for a long time. And eventually, it basically really boiled down to the fact that tonight's the night. You guys have to go to the Glass Slipper and its surrounds and work out how the hell you're going to get the information you need from 2 agents of the Circle. And that's pretty much up to you. Zhang is going with you. As sort of a backup and a supporter, but the actual operation is up to you, Naga Drive. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It was a lot of talking last episode, but we've come to a very firm idea of what's happening. And where tonight we'll leave off is you basically walking out the door of Ugly Motors.
So before we do, we will take the initiative and do an outside of roleplay talk about. And
I think, knowing that we as characters are walking out the building, it can just dip it back into character when is right.
I agree.
So I know Pro's just going to be his strength is going to be scoping the scene. Essentially, his job as a human trafficker was the. It sounds so bad to say that out loud. It wasn't a job he opted in for, but no, he was used as a means of getting in, getting out, disrupting things. So he knows he can scout for cameras. He's good at the
Optics
whole
and entry.
And disruption. He was the scrambler thrown in to mess things up so the job gets done. So that's what he knows his strength is. Seb, Rob.
Look, Seb was pretty quiet in the last episode in regards to plan making. I've defended my position heavily on that, so I'm not going to go into it. But, happy to interject with his plans moving forward in regards to what we're going to be doing in terms of entry and plan moving forward. We'll get into it shortly. But,
Eve's got new costume.
Yeah.
I think it's worth mentioning as well for sometimes in roleplay, I sometimes give people a bit of a brief on what to expect in the session, I guess in terms of tone. And I've kind of said, and I'll reiterate, that tonight you have quite a sandbox. So I've done a fair bit of prep in building the world around the Glass Slipper. So if ever there's a time where you feel like, I guess the world is intentional, tonight it very much is. So all the buildings and all the businesses and all the, alleyways in the immediate area are all...
Get me excited, Dave.
Well, it's just a lot of them have nothing in them, right?
Yeah.
But that nothing is deliberate, and there are ones that do. It's kind of a sort of that environment where you guys are going to be in a bounding box in the sense that you're going to be entering this part of the Ven, but within that, it's really I'm picturing in my head a bit like Hitman, the game, where you guys are in this arena and how you solve the puzzle is entirely up to you.
Cool. I'm going to spend 16 hours carrying people into a great press.
I mean, if you can find a great press.
That's
in Hitman.
If you can find one in this part of the Ven. That's fair. Now a burger joint.
As we're walking, I turn to Eve and say, how many sedatives have you got? High strength. Is that something we can get a hold of last minute? I mean, stun guns might be a little too loud, but you could actually...
Eve, make a medicine check.
Was that just survival?
We're not playing D&D, are we? Medicine, survival, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I played 2 D&D campaigns
It's
outside
been 2
of
weeks,
tabletop time, and it has been 3 weeks since we last played.
Oh, sorry.
Easily with 4 successes, plenty.
Okay.
You don't have any heavy sedatives. You have some painkillers, but not heavy sedatives. But you do know that in the basement of Ugly Motors, you're pretty sure that there were bags of heroin. Drug warning.
No.
Mature content advisory.
Yeah.
I am not equipped with sedatives, but I did see other means of sedation.
What other means?
I assume we're still in Uglies, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of...
You're probably at the stairwell.
Yeah.
I'll point over to... I imagine there's probably some drugs
It's in the
somewhere
basement
in there.
that you've only been in heavily wounded and you've never seen.
Yeah.
Narcotics.
What kind? Do you remember? It makes a difference.
Yeah, it's like cocaine. It's like that won't help.
Probably hinder.
What are they doing here?
They seem really alert right now.
Is it wake them up or put them to sleep?
You
Drugs.
said it was. What was it?
Heroin. Put them to sleep.
Put them to sleep. I love that Jen's just like,
What's a heroin?
I love it.
It's
so cute. Though.
I'll ask for 3. 3 heroines.
I love that
please.
you are like, oh yeah, that'll put them to sleep.
Well, yeah, no.
In my younger years.
No.
I had nothing to do with it because I was
This
a good
is
boy.
where, yeah. There is a line walking and creating mature content that we need to be careful of.
I believe it will cause sedation.
I feel like we might need some. Well, they might, if you catch my drift.
Is Jane standing around? Mm-hmm. I'll go up to her and sign and say, "Hey, for our mission, could we acquire some narcotics?"
She signs back, just don't get hooked, Eve. I hear they're addictive.
I'll live and say, "Ha ha." And I'll go find something that
Cool.
they're happy
You
for
go
me to
down and
take.
get a small baggie.
And I'll load up some syringes. Is it?
Well, you've got all that equipment in
Yeah,
you.
correct.
I imagine that Eve bots have. I actually said this to you, like way back in character creation, that you have like hypodermic needles in your body that you can just like into your hand. And
So I
just,
load a couple of
I think
those.
that was the thought,
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have it. You could actually like brew that in you.
Yeah.
All right. So Eve, you
It's like a
cook
warning.
that up in you. I don't know what you do with it, but Eve's got the technology.
Woo!
Well,
Eve's loaded.
if the party in question needs convincing or sedating, it's just a thought. I think we need every card up our sleeves. American accents, bar. Every card up our sleeves.
Do we have a secure way to contact each other?
We've got our video connection from my phone in his internal.
Yeah.
And
Let me work on just making sure that's as secure as it can be. And I just do that as we're walking. I just want to reinforce firewalls and what's the word? The word for like
Encryption?
Thank you. Encrypt connections and stuff. Thank you. All right.
We're in line a lot.
Who's
We
got
are a
blue
bit.
dice?
Bitty yin yang.
I've got red dice.
Damn, that's a
No,
good
that's
roll.
not a roll. It's just your dice because you've got the blue
You've got
bag.
the blue bag.
Oh, can I take that as my next roll?
Nope.
Damn.
And you've got red, Dave.
For those that can't see on Patreon, that is a lot of successes.
On Patreon, on YouTube, on
sorry,
on
anything.
every
Anything.
platform, no one can see our rolls.
I am rolling
The rolls are
something.
for us, not any viewer.
Ooh, mystery rolling.
Oh damn!
Oh dang.
Oh damn!
That's wow.
What roll was that?
Successes. That was a roll that you're not aware of.
Great.
So what are you currently doing?
I'm trying to encrypt
Cool.
and
Make it secure.
just make sure we
Yep.
got a secure means of communication. Ooh,
good.
almost critical, but 4.
4 successes. Yep. And what is the means of communication?
Same as last time.
My glasses, his internal. She's
Voice
a robot. Jank's got something.
So she
else.
has no form of communication based on being a robot. They're deliberately isolated. So she'll need a phone or something.
her phone.
Okay. Cool.
Just have it in your hand.
So you set that up between you. Mm-hmm. And then
And Jane.
you test it. And then before you can even mention it, this unknown like communicator just goes beep bing in your things and says, "You're done there making that secure."
Is that you, Zhang?
Smiley face.
I told said invite her.
That was while he was like trying to set it all up. She just hacked the fuck out.
I'm gonna
of all
have
your
to get
systems.
some more training on you. That isn't more training with you. That isn't just try not to die.
And a message comes up and it says, "It'll take more than training to get to best me at this."
I'm committed.
Are you able to fix this for us then? Make it more encrypted?
It's good enough.
Okay.
So you've done a good job.
It's like that meme with the giant like supercomputer robot like patting the kid playing chess. I'll pull out of my backpack the suit that I got from doing the whole becoming property of Seb's family. Comb my hair back and put on like the glasses. Like, look, I might as well look
Spiffy.
like I'm in the company I'm meant to be in and like suit up.
And we'll start walking.
Let's go.
Okay, so what do we want to do going in?
Well, I've said I'll start scouting, so we need to talk about getting in there.
So you've left and you're heading in that direction?
Yeah.
I think this is probably a chance for me to sort of ask about what I might know as a character, having worked for this organization, how the higher ups seemed to spend their time and basically the culture I've observed and their approaches to.
I'm going to get you to make a
security.
hacker vocation check using intelligence as the attribute. Based on your history.
Strength.
Challenge level.
I'll base the information on your successes.
It's a 5.
5.
So 2 successes. You know enough to know that these guys are not high up in the organization.
Okay.
There's sort of various levels, and people tasked to hunt and like seek and hunt are usually, you know, the first step upon the rung to the higher levels of the organization. So they're not like low level movers and pushers and stuff like that. But they are of the lowest tier once you're in the inner circle.
All right. Now, you mentioned way back in episode 1, this was an observation that Eve made, not myself, but that one of the people's faces was like pixelated and disturbed. Is that something Pro would know or have discovered through the course of all that research over the last however many episodes? Or
You know
having
what
worked?
you know what it is. It's
So I know one of them has that.
Yeah, it's a cybernetic implant that's basically facial tattoos, but it scrambles digital. It's much more powerful than your chip, but it has no subtlety whatsoever because it just scrambles data.
Yeah.
So you would now that you have a bionic eye, that eye will now see his face as scrambled data.
Cool.
Now it's super obvious that they have it, so it's not very good at being like it doesn't hide the fact that you're there, whereas yours
So
can make
having
you
one
disappear.
normalize,
Yeah.
very helpful now.
Yep.
Good.
And it was Kanan Rofi that had that.
Yep. All right. So thoughts on getting in, because we were thinking
Front door.
there's that, but once we're in, we were thinking using Seb as a bargainer.
Using Seb as bait.
As
is my-
bait.
is my thought.
Okay, go on.
Okay. They're there as scouts, right, for the circle, I'm assuming.
I imagine in the building.
Yeah. Right. They're there as scouts. They're looking for Pro.
But
Sorry, just
What?
the level of the bottle surprised me.
It's next level, Rob. That's what you got to remember.
I just
So, they're there as scouts. They're looking for Pro, right? They've given up. They're sitting at the glass slipper as a last hurrah before they leave off. What we're going to do is we're going to put Seb in there as bait. Seb's going to enter, scout the place, and try and find out where they're sitting. He's going to let you know where they're sitting. Once we know where they're sitting, you're going to enter and plant your chip on as many of the drones in there as possible so that Zhang can hack them. I'm going to go sit adjacent to them, not with them, not even going to interact with them, and get blasted off my ass and cause a scene. I'm going to try and pick up women there. I'm going to make a scene. I'm going to pay for drinks. I'm going to offer them drinks until they realize, hey, this is a high-class bespoke. He looks like he could be a target. We're going to keep track of him. At some point, when I order around, Eve is going to enter, and she's going to spike one of the drinks that's heading towards them. We're going to knock them out and then get them out of the building.
all right, hang on, rewinding a little bit. I'm just thinking about, okay, so I'm placing chips on drones, right? Sorry, on robots.
Drones are a last resort. We're going to keep the hack in there just in case shit goes sour.
Yes, just sort of wondering how to do that discreetly, especially if I'm, of the three of us, someone they're going to recognise.
That's the point. I'm going to let you know where they are in advance so you know not to go near that area.
Okay.
Realistically, ideally, what would happen is as I'm going to leave the bar, we can make it better if I've got women leaving with me because, you know, he's a bespoke, he's crazy and cocky. Dave's just thinking Rob's an idiot. But the idea is that they might follow me to get an idea of what's happening. And it's at that point that as we get towards away from where they were sitting originally, that focuses on me, this crazy bespoke that's kind of going nuts with power. And
What are your thoughts, Jen?
How are we feeling?
Sounds like a plan.
It's bold, but I feel like there's probably going to be a lot of interruptions on the path
I
there.
think though we can work on the fly. We can. It sounds like a decent plan.
I mean, realistically,
You know what?
it's on you.
Okay.
'Cause
No,
all
I like
need
your
to do is-
idea about the bugs and the corruptibility of the drones. I think that what that also tells me is we need to know what each of our fallback roles are, right?
a plan B.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
sure.
So I know mine is scramble or disrupt shit, communication, and Zhang is obviously our if we need it, hopefully. Eve and Seb. We need to protect Eve for Eve's sake because she's very fragile, and also because if we don't, Johnny is going to fuck us up.
I think if Eve is never in that position, then everything will be okay. So I'm thinking my plan B is if everything just goes to shit, get out, but find where the fire exits are, find where the kill switch is, turn on sprinklers, get everyone out, move out discreetly.
We put it with Zhang.
Okay, yep.
Would be my best bet because Zhang will be on premises, I'm assuming, and if we keep Eve there as her personal assistant, as chaperone.
Yep.
I'm also contactable, so if for some reason you don't feel safe, or if you feel like you're not getting enough attention and you need someone around,
we need a safety word.
Aubergine.
Lobster. Oh, aubergine's alright. Yeah, it's aubergine.
No? We don't even say that in Australia, apart from the colour.
What about
Go on.
it's the glass slipper?
Cinderella.
Oh!
What?
Well, yes. The shoe fits was my thought. The glass slipper, the shoe fits. Keyword, code word. The shoe fits. Shut it down.
So is that
He's
code?
falling into pro. Come on,
I
let's
don't know,
fall into pro.
I'm just sort of thinking in the conversation you could decide at some point.
I could probably squeeze it in.
Yeah. Be like, maybe I'm just gonna let's make this I've decided to communicate to the whole team at this point. Things are gonna fuck up, but it won't be clear that you commanded them.
If New York's in debt, why should Virginia bear it?
Anyway, shoe fits is code red or that.
The shoe fits is shut it down.
Yeah, okay, was operation.
And it could just be now's the time to pull the trigger.
Yep.
Or abort. But either way, it's drastic measures now. And everyone interprets
These feel like two very different things. Either abort or immediately fully engage.
The
in
shoe does not
operation.
fit.
No. I think realistically,
Make it
the shoe don't.
midnight.
our goal is... so
I like a code word, okay?
So if everything goes to plan, my thought is that they're going to surreptitiously follow me out to try and case me. If they've lost track of you,
Bait them. Get in there and bait them.
yeah. If they've lost track of you, their fallback is going to be reverting to whatever their normal role is. And if their role is to find people, I mean, you're going to know this better than I, and Dave will be able to answer me. My thought, and Seb is more intelligent than I, is the fact that if there are people that look for people, they're probably the type of people that case new people to kidnap.
Yep.
Dave, you can't tell me.
Pro would know that what he would know is that their behaviour is outside what he would have thought it would be. It seems odd that they would have been basically chilling out at a bar for 2 weeks.
And I say as much.
Their
Now I'm
behaviour is
thinking it could be a
unusual.
trap.
They're planning something or preparing or
Or
Why don't-
derelict in their duties.
yeah.
Does Shane have an audio tracker?
An audio.
As in,
A wire.
yeah, if I wanted to place it discreetly, for example, and could hear the conversation that's happening.
I'm going to have my phone on the entire
Yeah,
time. through
you've
my
probably got
glasses.
means to do that. It's not
Okay.
too complicated.
All right. Let's just head to the glass slipper. I think step one, we got to see what we're dealing with.
Yep.
With the place.
Do we have access to maps? Not until we reach the premises.
You don't have any access to maps at all.
Okay.
Because
So
I don't have them digitally. But I would describe the setting to you.
that's a shame.
All right.
One day we'll be in a point where I have the talent, time, and everything to make the little digital maps. For
Well, there's a
campaign.
little RPG dungeon maker that you can change the texture for, so you should look out for us and sponsor us.
All right. So the trio
Three.
heads down, and after walking for 10 or so minutes, arrives at the area of the Ven with the glass slipper. You look down the street, the busy street. It's about 9 p.m. And people are moving to and fro. It's like the very start of the nightlife. You can see city folk coming through, lots of slummers around. One police robot seems to be absent-mindedly patrolling the area on one of the uncommon patrols through the very closest parts of the slums that they do undertake. And yeah, you can see the glass slipper. You're coming from, according to my map, it's the south, but it'll probably actually be west to east. So you're coming from the west side of the street. As you look forward, you see a alleyway going down to the right with a couple of people sort of smoking in the corner. There is what looks like a burger joint on the left, and a rather old school looking velveteen lounge-like building to the left. Several more businesses on the left-hand side, and a couple more businesses up the end of the street you can notice. And the glass slipper, obvious for its sign out the front of basically Cinderella's shoe, but with a toothpick and 2 olives stuck in the toe of the shoe with like swilling martini. The ultimate in classy Aussie shoey.
I love it. That was planned from episode 1, right?
Yeah.
The
whole thing was a shoey reference.
And we're done. That's it. We just ended it.
And we win
The end. That's it.
From your point, you immediately. Actually, I'll get perception checks. Challenge
That's
level
so good.
3.
from everyone, or just
Yeah, you can roll.
2.
As usual, Pro knows nothing.
Hey, that's a better roll than I've had all season.
That's 3 successes from me.
5.
Seb and Eve both notice as they head towards the street and get into the relative vicinity of the glass slipper, that the glass slipper seems to be adorned with several security cameras that are facing in multiple directions, covering a large amount of the street.
Cool.
The
I'll
irony
point
is
them out.
Pro's probably not seeing him because he's like checking all of our security and like me. Anyway,
We'll point them out to you.
Yeah.
Tell you where they are.
shit, I can't believe I missed that.
Cameras on the north.
They
and south
seem to
corner of
cover the
building.
entirety of the road that you're coming up, and then they fan out at an angle, missing some of the road further on past the business. Directly underneath them, there are 2 scantily clad characters, like deliberately directly underneath the.
Do we know what they
the
are?
cameras.
Is scantily clad code word for Lady of the Night?
So there is I have a lot of words and I have to find my words. So there are 2 people of the night directly beneath the security cameras. One appears to be male, one appears to be female, but they're wearing very similar attire. Crop tops, long fishnet stockings, and they both seem, aside from colourful coloured hair, in similar hairstyles, pretty much bereft of body hair. The male has a messy puff of K-pop style hair, and the female's is violent red.
Nice.
There's also, closer to you before the burger joint in the alleyway, there are several people smoking leaning up against the thing. There's also the to and fro of dozens of people coming up and down the strip, and multiple businesses in the area.
Burger joints on the left.
Burger joints on the right.
You said left before.
Well, I said the wrong thing.
Okay.
Burger joints on the right. From your perspective, it is the business directly adjacent to the glass slipper.
I'm assuming out of character. There's nothing stopping us from just walking into the building.
The security guard, but probably about it. That would be my guess.
It depends on what your approach is. You've got whatever you want to do.
Okay. Tell me about the people smoking. What do I see about them?
They look young, kind of unkempt, but rough.
Okay.
Not poor though.
I ruffle my hair so I don't look too city slicker. I like sort of pop my collar up a bit. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, help me! I am. And then I turn to you guys and I'm like, huh? That's the most religious thing I've ever said. Feels weird. Not me. Anyway, and I walk ahead. I'm like, hey, can I bum a light?
You head over to the people in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mate. What do you want to bum a light for, mate?
I left my ciggies at home, and I don't know. I guess you could say you triggered me.
Maybe if you want to buy something, mate. And the female with him is like, Yeah, maybe you should buy something.
What are you selling?
Well, we got pretty much everything.
I'm interested, but tell me more.
Why don't you come with us? We'll do a deal. Out of sight of the cameras.
Look, I don't have time now. Maybe, you know what? I got someone I got to speak to, but 20 minutes. We can talk.
Oh, yeah? No worries, we'll be here all night.
Alright, cool.
Got the best shit on the street, mate.
Yeah, you got a smoke on you now, though, right?
Buyers only. Come on.
Really,
Fuck off. And as he says it, he like flashes, he lifts his like, he's got like a hoodie like this and he lifts it over and you can see that he's got a knife tucked into his waistband and he's just like, fuck off.
That's an interesting way to treat a prospective customer.
Go on.
You're lost. And I'll walk away.
So are they blocking the way down that alleyway, in a sense?
No, but they are kind of flanking either side of the alleyway.
Okay.
My thought process is, if I want to give the illusion of the fact that I'm obsessed with vices, that I should enter the building with people with me.
I come back. I describe how I interacted. And I suggest, look, we just got to figure out our cover. And if we're together or if we're splitting up. And at the end of the day, if you're going to make a scene, I think we should split up. But another thought is, if they're going to show us their wares, and they're heading away from what's being observed, and they actually have anything of value that could be taken, could be useful. At least to investigate. We don't have to buy. In fact, they rejected me. But you could come back and let them know the kind of buy they're losing if they don't treat us with a little more respect. I mean, money boy.
Pro, make a survival check.
Challenge level? Or just
3.
4.
4 successes.
After going up, looking back at them, noticing them move around a few times, you notice that they have similar tattoos and scarves, and then you rapidly realize that they're members of the Busy Gang.
They're members of the Busy Gang.
They're the ones that are fighting against Ugly.
I think so.
Best steer clear of them.
No, not fighting against Ugly. They're the ones he doesn't want to fuck with because they control this area. They're the ones that have the glass slipper.
My answer to them remains the same. Best not fuck with them.
So on the opposite side of the glass slipper, is there another alleyway, or is it?
Yes.
Yep, there is another
next
alleyway
to the
further
burger
up.
shop.
Yeah.
This is frustrating. I know this is not useful to the viewers, and I'm really sorry for that. But you guys are gonna need this,
Yeah.
and it's gonna help you
Sorry, you can
so
put it on fuzzy cam. It'll
much.
be fine.
Yeah, fuzzy cam.
If you bring it up like here, it's not too bad, right?
That's just a white void
there
of.
we go.
Just
That's
white.
better.
Wait.
Oh, there we go.
Where's the focal point?
There is none.
Wow.
There is no focal point.
Is it like half an inch
No,
away?
it's there is none. There is no focal point.
Wow.
Yeah.
I apologize.
We'll describe it in great detail.
So I was
piece
thinking,
of paper with printed
if-
stuff on
That's what you know so far. So you're here.
Yep.
it. Oh, that's not what I had imagined.
You're there. People in that alleyway.
Dave, just put it on fuzzy cam. It's fine.
Okay.
'Cause then-
It won't show up at all.
A little bit.
Yeah, it actually is not too bad. So we are here.
Okay. These are the cameras with the 2 prostitutes beneath them with the camera angles where I said it doesn't quite cover that street up here. And it seems that is a little entrance to the glass slipper, and that's a burger joint. The people are in that alleyway.
Cool.
And these are other businesses.
Okay.
They all have names.
So
What's this one?
What's that one? Oh, thank you for asking. Cheers, buddy. That one is a lovely place. That business is called Coffee by Day. And what can I tell you about Coffee by Day? Well, tell you all kinds of things if I can find it. I'm so glad you asked. Coffee by Day, a true remnant of Melbourne's culture. It is a restaurant / coffee place with an Italian or perhaps Greek vibe to it. Cakes sit in fridges and drinks sit on bars, which you don't know yet. It's an absolute wonder how this wonder continues to exist in the Ven of all places.
Aww.
It is nighttime, lights are dim, music is raised, and it seems like the focus has been on drinks, but it looks like food service is still running.
I know what the place you're talking about is. Oh, that's...
It's a reference to that place.
Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so...
Inside reference, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hey! Oh, classic.
Place.
What
Yeah.
a classic.
There is a sign at the front advertising a delicious risotto pollo.
Shame about the murders there, though. Sorry, getting distracted.
My
It's not
thought
chicken.
is, if we can find a back entrance to the glass slipper, they would have an emergency evacuation plan, which would have a map of the inside.
That's true.
So I'm thinking if me and Zhang, or maybe not necessarily me, can find a back entrance that we can get access into, that's also a safe room for you and
Do you know
Zhang.
who's probably going to get back access?
Yeah, probably you.
Probably, well, those people who I just got
Yeah,
rejected
and
by.
that's...
You got a message that bings up in your hood, in your head, and you notice Zhang walk off. And she says, "Buzz me when you need me, but standing around in the street's pretty obvious." So
Yeah,
she walks off and she heads into a business 4 doors up on the left.
Right. Well, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, if I'm going to make a scene in there, I'm going to need company, and I walk up to the male and the female prostitute and hire them. Care for a drink.
I was always impressed with how forward he is. Oops, sorry.
All right. So you walk straight up. Now standing in front of the glass slipper, you see that there is sort of those thick windowed, like blacked out windows that nightclubs often have on the ground floor that go all the way around, but they've been clearly painted with some, glass slipper. But it's very sleek. There's a bit of advertisement of nights where they do certain things. And there's sort of stairs that go down, concrete stairs that go down to the actual entrance to the nightclub. But underneath the cameras, yes, there are the two people are standing there, and they look up at you with surprise. They're just like, do you focus on either of them in particular?
No, both. I share my splendor.
They're both just like,
My shout.
Isn't that like butter or?
No, that's synthetic sugar. It's Splenda.
Oh, it's sugar, not butter. Sorry, it's an American thing.
No, you can get it in Australia.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
So you pull out synthetic sugar. Sorry.
Some packets, like, yeah.
Speaking of which, we should get that for the office.
I share my splendor.
one of them leans forward and says, where?
Inside, let's get a drink.
Oh, we aren't allowed in there.
Do tell.
We're not. And they dart their eyes up to the camera and they're like, we're not part of, busy gang operations. So we're just hustling. But if you like what you see, we're happy to go somewhere with you.
Your loss.
We'd go in if we could. And then one of them's like, he looks cute, but I bet you he's into some really fucked up shit. City ones always are, darling. And then eyes dart over to one of the other businesses, and then they say to each other, I'm surprised he came to us first. Must like it. Roughing it. Is that it? You want to rough it in the streets with us?
What business do they look at?
A business, just the one before Coffee by Day. The one that's quite discreet.
And what's that called?
You don't know.
Can I look over?
There's no sign.
Ooh, interesting.
But it's clearly it's got velvet curtains closed and sort of like a mahogany looking door, steps leading up to it.
Can I search it on my glasses? The address.
Google Maps.
Yeah, what's the Google Map pin?
Oh!
18 Destiny.
It is quite
Does a
listed.
19.
The place is called Desires Dalliance.
I thought it was at this
No,
one.
it's not Desires Dalliance. No, sorry, that's the other business on the street. Whoops. The place is called The Real Thing. And it prides itself on being the oldest brothel on in this part of the town. Where they advertise their point of special difference is the fact that it's the real thing as opposed to a machine. You got a 19. Upon hearing you remember hearing that name in passing casually around the soup kitchen.
What did I hear?
Conrado had mentioned it a few times.
In a positive or negative light?
Very fondly.
This session may go in a very different direction. Seb gets off and is just like, well, I'm done.
But this is probably the first time we've actually explored the
town?
actual
The town.
city. Yeah. Town, yeah.
So
You gotta remember, there's now a Wikipedia page for every one of these venues.
So,
but yeah, you also know, like, you have Conrado's contact information too, if you want more info.
while Seb's doing that, I'm going to talk to you, Pro.
Yo.
And I say, the two individuals you were talking to, did they have any distinct features or clothing, tattoos perhaps?
I describe them and also recall as much as I could and say that they're from the Busy Gang, but was there anything that stood out to me that's...
Two street people. They look like low-level pushers.
Okay.
Just
They got like
thuggery.
colour or any, like his Busy Gang?
They've got tats, that
Tats?
are gang tattoos.
Okay.
That mark them out.
Fantastic.
You know... Sorry.
No, yeah, you go.
I was going to say, Seb's trying to get in, well, that way. Who knows, might work, but they don't seem all that intimidating. I feel like we could take him.
I kind of nod at you. I say, I chuck out a needle that's capped and give it to you. And I've got one. Mm-hmm. I say, you go, I'll follow.
All right.
But we'll wait for Seb
And
to
this
get
is
back
out
before
of
we-
camera shot in that alley.
Just.
Yeah.
So we want to be like, we want to try and be
they're
out
standing like right there.
All right. I want
of. So
to...
I reckon we go like talk like we're getting coffee or something. Just kind of
As when you say just, noticing that, I want to make a check to just turn the camera. I want to be discreet, but I want to just mind force cybermancy the camera's software to sort of like tell it to
from this area to sort of move it, shift it more.
just shift it
Yep.
slightly away from the alley. Can I do that?
No.
Because
It's
not
outside the
accuracy.
capability. You could make it pop, but if you're a jacker, you could.
Yeah, no, it's a bit too high level.
Okay, so
to make it pop.
every building marked out on this map is accessible. Outside that is not.
Is there anything between the camera and me that is electronic that I could fry that could let go of steam or smoke? That
You
would-
could probably spark some conduit box on the wall or something near them, yeah?
Yeah, well, if there's something between the alley and the camera, I want to let it. I want to just so it like smoke
Oh, in front of the cameras?
between the cameras and us. Yeah.
No. No, they're very well positioned. It almost looks like city technology in the slums. It looks very well set up.
So is this the glass slipper?
I thought you meant in the alleyway to make a distraction. Glass slipper is there.
We'll wait for you to come back.
Yeah. Well, I also think we just need to explore our possibilities. So I say to Eve, look, I don't know if this should be a first go-to. I think we need to see their wares, and if we can get them on side, if I can convince them you're my disperser of goods, my personal enjoyment
Is that-
assistant.
I strongly
Spat.
recommend out of character that you have a thorough poke around before diving
Yeah,
into
we
any
will.
extreme courses of action.
I do have a good question. Would it not be... Would people have medical drones to help them like rich people?
You're currently dressed as a
No. I'm asking
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Would they have a medical bot to help them administer drugs
Oh,
if they were
often,
rich?
often, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Not if they're rich. Usually, if they're middle class, rich people usually have better alternatives like
But
organ
a
replacement
drone's not
stuff.
is able to take whatever.
They can just jack into a new body.
So what's better if I overdose? I'll just get a new body.
Yep. Some of them do it for fun.
Cool. All right. Let's go for a walk then.
Cool.
So we'll
So you
We'll maybe do a
walk
blocky.
You've been standing in front of the camera for a while now.
Yeah.
We just had a short conversation. While he was having the conversation with these two people, we were over here having this conversation.
I'm gonna get.
So
I'm gonna
let's
get
just
Pro
walk
to
the
make a
block.
stealth
Yeah,
check.
I agree. Who?
Pro. Remembering you get +1 against technology
Yep.
and +1 because you're a slummer.
Is this a technology?
It's
Like against
for the
it?
camera because you've just been idling in front of the camera that's being able to be monitored by people who are hunting you.
I'm talking to prostitutes.
You are out of camera shot currently
Oh, well.
because you're directly under them, almost as if that's deliberately where they're standing.
Right. Challenge level.
Challenge level for this is 4. It's good tech.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
6.
You've managed to like hood up. You know your way around avoiding cameras, and you're just ambling in the corner, looking not obvious.
Yeah.
And there are people bustling.
I don't have a hood. I've got suit, but I'm like collared and
Glasses
I'm
and
like,
stuff.
You're well disguised, and you're managing to stay out of attention.
like let's walk the block, catch some fresh air, and I like lead the way.
Cool. So we'll
I'm like,
just,
Pro's deciding he's gonna have a swagger. He's trying to embody the people he hated and was forced to work for, and wear it. You know, trying to essentially present as a potential someone who could be identified as these people that they're hunting.
Yep.
so we want to know. We'll quickly do a little bit of window shopping. Just have a quick look.
Well,
at
you've
what
had that conversation.
they're
What's Seb doing?
I was going to do something brash, so I'm happy to wait for them to finish what they're doing.
Okay, so you're just chatting, idly, or are you gonna sort of make yourself scarce
No, I was going to say, sucks to be you, and walk inside.
inside the glass slipper? Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that will technically happen before these guys do what they're gonna do, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Go. What are you doing?
Cool. So we're going to window shop.
Okay. Window
Please.
shot.
And walk the
Any-
block. I think outside of your map, we're gonna walk around.
Yep. So I want to know what this is. I want to know if there's an alley here. And
All right.
See what the other side of this alley might
So
look
the
like.
next business up is a business called Buzzed from the outside. So I'm only going to give you the rough description unless you go in and have a look
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So it looks like a tattoo parlor.
Okay. Yep.
I'll just make sure I go through. So it looks like. I will actually have to read my opening line. The ultimate combination of reckless choices, Buzzed offers cheap alcohol and permanent tattoos.
Love it.
Permanent.
Hey.
All right, and the next business, the one that Zhang walked into,
Yep.
that business is called Get Jacked. It's very strange. There's iron caged windows displaying various electronics and niche goods. It seems like part pawn shop, part Harvey Norman.
Seems cool.
So electronics boutique, really.
I see Zhang in there, I assume.
You can't. The windows are barred and just like so. There's like display windows which
Would
have
we have
stuff in them.
observed
But
her
there's
walk in
you know
there,
she
or-
walked in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Though.
Okay. And then this is a street.
That's an alleyway.
Oh, it's a very big alleyway. Okay.
It's not that wide.
Cool.
Map's not in scale.
Just peering down at, is there like garbage cans?
Okie dokie. That one you can get a good look on because guess what? It's an alleyway, so there's nothing obstructing your vision. A dirty, crowded alleyway shows through the van, exposing its slum underbelly. Several unconscious figures crowd in boxes hunched on the peripherals, seemingly with partially less drunk overseers protecting their organs. Safety in numbers. A large dumpster with a lock on it rests outside of a business, which is, yep. And it's bright yellow, one of the few that you know actually get serviced in the slums under a private contract.
Do you know what it is? Can I make a check to know what it is?
It's a dumpster.
Oh, okay.
It's like a big dumpster.
Okay.
And and the building here is one story, and there is a man standing there that you're familiar with, but who doesn't seem to recognize you with a tray of goods.
It's Bernie.
It is Bernie.
It's always going to be Bernie.
It's got the eye.
He's sitting there. He's currently selling a man his tooth back. It seems like.
We'll just keep walking for now, but we know he's
Found
there.
it on the
Unless
ground.
you
It's
want to.
mine.
Yeah, there is a very, very drunk-looking man who
sort of-
seems to be complaining about Bernie trying to sell him his own tooth back.
I mumbled to Eve, "You've bought stuff from that guy, haven't you?" I mean, I've seen you guys talk to him
I have.
from a distance.
Yes.
Tell you what, I'm going to go in and speak to Zhang. See if you can glean any of his understanding of this place.
Okay.
We need to scope as much of the intelligence from the locals as possible. Whatever he has, who knows.
Understood.
And I walk into the Get Jacked shop.
So we'll do Bernie first, and I'm sorry to our long-term viewers. I have no idea what voice I gave Bernie. It's been like
He was
10
like, he was very like.
He was like old man.
That was my impression.
What are you buying?
Yeah, what are you
just
buying?
sound like
Oh,
Cindy.
I'm Bernie, and I sell stuff. That'll do. I'm bloody a little bit Aussie.
He was a
but
little nasally.
little
I think.
nasally, a little Bernie.
Like he had a
all right.
broken nose. And he had
Yeah,
a
it's
Yeah.
recovered a bit now, but yeah, all right. Oh, hello.
Bernie. Hello.
Who are you then?
Do you not remember who I am?
Oh, you're a fine-looking lass, but you're a bit pale.
I believe we met a few weeks back.
I'd recognise someone as interesting-looking as you. Yes.
You making a check?
I'm making a destiny roll. I rolled a 14. It bounced out of the tray.
You sold an arm to me.
Did I? Whose arm was it?
I am not sure.
Oh, neither am I. Don't remember, sorry.
That is fine. I was wondering if perhaps you could tell me about this area.
Well, tell you about... I don't know anything about this area. I'm sorry. I've got this hard drive full of information, though. Do you want to buy that?
How much is it going for?
Well, it's pretty small, so... $1,000?
Swap him for the heroin.
How many needles today do you reckon? Do you want me to roll for how many needles I loaded up?
You had one little baggie. I don't know what that does in drug world. I've seen TV. That's
I'm going to say I put it into...
We're good people, damn it.
I'm going to say I put it into 3 syringes.
Okay.
All right. And I gave one to you.
Yeah.
So I have 2.
Could be a very worthless hard drive, but so could the arm have been worthless.
I'm going to say to him, is there? There's no one authoritative around here, no police or anything, and
It's currently patrolled off.
Would you perhaps be interested in an exchange?
Maybe.
I flip it out into my hand.
What is it?
It's heroin.
What's a nice girl like you got something like that for?
I am a medical drone.
Oh, is that medicine? Sorry, you're a what?
A medical drone.
Oh, people are so weird nowadays. Are you a cosplayer?
Sure.
Well, very good. I used to go to conventions back when I was young. Well, for you, I'm going to ask you to make a persuasion check.
Very meta of you, Bernie.
He's just that cooked.
I've been waiting to do this.
Challenge level 2.
Oh, well. Yeah. That's 2
2.
successes.
Defense wins. He's unconvinced. He says, I'll tell you what. The deal seems a little unbalanced. 2 little syringes for this black hard drive. So
I think she only offered one.
one.
She only
Oh,
showed
one.
one.
I'm not offering 2, I'm only offering 1. I need 1.
it's not quite a good enough deal.
What else would you like in exchange?
Got anything more?
I like how we both looked at each other just like, I didn't offer him my other heroin. That was mine.
I'm going to pull out my packet of children's Nurofen and say that I also offer this.
Are they tablets or does it come with the little crocodile spoon?
I say,
Little measuring dose for the liquid.
Yeah.
I say, this is the newest stuff. I come from a medical company, and this stuff hasn't been produced yet. We've put it in discreet packaging.
Sounds like you're lying. Make a deception check.
Ooh.
I love this
Challenge
so
level
much.
1. He's so trusting.
It's Bernie. I don't think he realizes what's going on.
He is a cooked unit.
He's so good though. He's so Australian.
He wins one success. He wins. He's like, I don't like anything too new. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, love. If you got more heroin, I'll take that.
I offer. This is so weird. I offer the heroin.
Both.
No, just the one.
Yep.
And say $100.
He scratches at his shoulder and he's like, nah, I kind of want the drugs now.
I only have one needle.
Oh. Alright. Have you got $100? You don't?
I do. I have access to the credit card.
Do you?
That's how I've been buying his food.
He doesn't have any money. It's only you.
How has she been buying burritos?
It's his
With
money.
his food stamps. His burrito stamps.
Offering food stamps.
What's your commerce level?
2.
So you could buy it and you'd drop a commerce level.
That's fine. I'll do it.
This is the first use of a commerce point in
Thanks
bought
to this guy.
90.
Thanks to this guy.
I bought a bloody soup kitchen.
We've had a sugar daddy all
No,
season.
Seb is the reason.
I'm a sugar father.
Seb's character-wise is the
So
reason.
we've had a vicarious sugar daddy.
Sugar father. It's like a sugar daddy, but with love.
Hello, sugar father.
It's like a sugar daddy, but
There's
with love.
no love there, bro.
There's love.
I'll drop
Okay,
a
drop a
Sure
commerce
there
level.
is.
There is. I care about you guys.
No, I meant your dad.
Oh no, he doesn't love me.
No.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Seb's dad.
I love you. I love you, Dad.
Seb's dad
We're not
loves him.
talking about Rob's dad. Don't be
My dad's
silly.
lovely.
And I'll
You've
transfer
met
him
him.
the money.
I have. I've met your family.
Okay.
Or I'll
Lovely.
go get it out. Whatever's easier.
All right, well, here's your change. Sometimes if you climb on the roof here,
I need that.
you can see some funny stuff at the club.
Thank you. You've been very helpful.
And he turns around to the other guy, and then he keeps bartering for
Yeah.
selling you guys' tooth back to him for $5.
All right.
In the shop. With Zhang. What's she looking at?
Cool. So you enter, get jacked.
Yep.
Once inside, it is obvious that this is a booster haven. A large robot tends the counter alongside a female booster. They're covered in gang tats and paint. So it's where the tats are on the booster, the robot has like painted graffiti on him. Behind the counter, you see some very illegal weaponry, guns, like swords, etc. behind the counter, as well as cybernetic components. There's a circular table in the middle of the room where like there's shelves with stock on it, but then there's also just like the tabletop timetable, the new one, just in the middle of the room, and there's just a regular customer, an employee cleaning a gun on the table, and Zhang sitting there.
Cool fit out. Anything you like here? That's what I say to Zhang.
She doesn't regard you. And the receptionist says, "You know her?"
Oh, no, I'm just asking what people around here are interested in. I like tech stuff. Something of a...
2 successes for them. Nice upgrade.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She winks at you with the eye that you have augmented. Where'd you get that tech? Looks pretty good. Barely any scars either.
What's your tech that you notice?
She like shrugs her shoulders and then slaps 2 like large metallic fists on the table that are like twice the size of regular fists, and then she just like these, and then she just, you hear this like, and she pulls her arms out and her elbows detach from the hands, and then they go under the table, and then pulls out these like really fine craftsman's hands, and then she's like, and these, and a few more.
That's cool.
Well, you know, you got a boost out here if you want to survive.
Yeah, I've heard.
And the robot looks at you and it says, "May I help you?"
Well, I mean, I'm interested in How did you notice? I mean, this.
Are you talking to the robot or?
I'm turned back to the woman with the arms.
Well, it's my job. I live and breathe tech, and the way that the light reflects in the iris, you can always tell.
Well, I'm Peter. I hold out my hand.
And with the finessed hand, she shakes it and she says, Connie.
It's nice to meet you, Connie.
I am Peas.
Hey, Peas.
Your satisfaction is my #1 goal.
Oh, thanks, bro. I hold out my fist.
Hand spins 360 and just like gently pumps you and then goes down.
This is a cool kid. You seem really experienced, and to be honest, as you can tell, I've been trying to actually be pretty discreet with my implementation. It's taken let's just say I've been shanked before. I'd prefer to be more discreet if even a professional can notice. How can I? What? Do you have any advice?
Advice is to have a body of steel, and then you do not get stabbed.
And Con just shrugs and is like, yeah, pretty much that. She's like, subdermal nanoweave if you can afford it.
Cool. I'd like make a note to self.
If you can't, like most people out here, tight asses. Although, that said, the last order of nanoweave we had to peel off some corp tech guy, so, it's used. If you can deal with secondhand.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Hashtag relatable.
So what can we do for you?
Just browsing. The missus kicked me out. I say improvising. So, finding cool stuff to distract me from the bullshit,
Cool.
How long you been running this joint?
I do not run this joint. I work here.
So this is your kid? I say to Connie.
And she's like, it's a cooperative,
How's the neighborhood?
Tycho's kind of the boss, and she points at the guy at the table cleaning the gun, who's just like, barrel, and then extension comes out of his finger and just goes down the thing, and he's like got a hand that's entirely for like gun modding.
I guess if you're going to be situated next to, some of those people I saw in the alley, it's good to be a shop with equipment.
Oh, we don't complain.
Yeah.
They do their job that they're paid to do.
I walk across to the shelves and observe some of the equipment, which I should probably just, what am I observing? Well, it's the caliber of the stuff that's their bread and butter.
Clearly outside the counter, low tech, affordable by slummers, like secondhand scrap cybernetics, not even cybernetics, like cheap computers and decks and stuff. Behind the counter and illegal weapons of varying quality. There's clearly some top shelf stuff. Most of it, even though they clearly are showing craft and looking after it, it's still either there's a lot of homemade guns, and yeah, it's well crafted but low quality, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I pick up a trinket and just observing it and just making chit chat. How do you find the neighbors? A couple of interesting brothels down the street. What's the glass slipper like? You ever been in there? I'd like to find a place to drink.
I have not been in there.
And then Connie just fingers to the head and is like, yeah, we can't get him to stop doing that. But no one likes to fuck with a place that has a big ex-military robot in it.
Oh, shit. That sounds like cool tech.
Good hack job, too. He's old as shit, though.
Yeah. Hack job is in what, pieced together or
No, stolen, of course.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, look, they're fine. I've been in Glass Slipper, got pissed there a few times. Good club. It's pretty safe, which is rare. That's why we hang out here. Well, I mean, the busy gang keeps a tight lid on things.
It seems like it. At least I don't...
They ain't cheap, but it's worth it.
Don't have to look over my back too much walking down the street, which is nice.
Not here, but if you turn down the alleyways, you're fucked, mate.
Yeah, well, you get that feeling.
Well, you might be.
Are we still in a video call?
I imagine we sort of.
I don't think you're constantly in a video call. I
Yeah.
imagine
I
you just-
wanted to be. That was my thought, is the fact that we all have constant
I thought that
communication
would
with
have
one
more been when we're getting in.
another. As soon as I left you guys, I would have assumed it was open.
Well, would that be really, really distracting to you?
I thought it would be. I feel like
It's
when
up
we're
to
having,
each
I feel like when we're
individual
having
whether they have it or not.
conversations, we'd sort
I'm
of.
imagining you have like a window that is constant feeding, and you can like close it and open it.
I would
At will.
because it's on a glasses. I would have assumed I would have just. Had
You
like, a
may have it
window
open
there.
constantly.
Okay.
But it's whether or not everyone wants to is their choice. Just like
I
you can
think that's
close the
fair.
window on.
I feel like I'd keep peripheral windows of what.
maybe mute it or something.
Yeah, of what even Seb is seeing and mute, and I would keep my audio on so they can catch what I'm saying if they opt in.
Yeah.
But they would probably mute me.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's probably the way we're going. Anyways, I sort of like wrap up chit chat.
cool.
And, like anyway, forgot my wallet. Shit, I'm fucking bitch.
The guy at the table's like, well, you're gonna need it if you're interested in the brothels in town, so bloody go get it, mate.
Yeah, no, you're right. She locked me the fuck out. God damn it! And I like start get emotional. Like, oh God, I'm sorry,
Make a
guys.
persuasion
I
check
need a
for this
fucking drink.
performance.
Waiting for Zhang to like pop up and be like in the
Oops.
chat and be like,
What is
Challenge
going
roll.
on?
Oh, just roll. Whoa,
oh,
3.
3 successes.
Yeah, you're doing all right job. You seem convincing.
Take a deep breath. I'm like, fuck me. I need to get a drink, or maybe I'll go in the fucking alleyway. Join the scum.
All right, well, have fun.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, nice chatting. Thanks
There's
for-
plenty of bars. Go check out beer if you want a beer.
Well, that makes sense. So, you're cool, Connie. I like you. Can I grab your number? You know. I mean, I don't mean to be so forward, but
You know what? This is a destiny roll.
Isn't that
That was a 5. That was
She's like-
5 on the Destiny roll.
She's like, sorry, I've got other interests.
fair. Okay.
Let Denny.
Anyways, I hope you take it as a compliment.
Sure.
I've had a shit.
You ain't got enough steel for me, though.
Hey, it's not the size it counts, right?
And then she
I
like,
wink with the eye.
she like puts her hand on P way more affectionately than you expected. And then she's just like, it kind of is.
Yeah, all right. Sorry. And I like embarrassed, like walk out.
I'm gonna flash everyone an image of the hard drive that I now have.
Like I suddenly walk around the corner and I'm like, huh, Bernie always has the goods, huh?
Apparently so.
And by the time you walk around the corner, you see Bernie holding a guy's head back semi-violently, but not like a little rough is more what I mean. And he's like shoving a tooth back in an empty socket of this guy who's like,
That's
and then you hear him roughly say, full service, mate, with every purchase.
Shall we keep exploring?
Did you get any information? I mean, I figured out, well, I was told they have a military bot, ex-military hack job in the building. Old, but powerful.
Bernie did mention that perhaps scouting the rooftops would be advantageous.
Cool. Stakeout. I'll get started. I look over to the bin and I'm like, give me a boost. I go across.
Cool. You climber up
the
onto the
building.
bin.
Oh, I hand you the hard drive.
Make a grip check or a grapple check to
Both.
climb up the wall.
You.
No,
Cool.
pro.
Just pro.
Cool.
Challenge level 1.
1.
Cool. You managed to make it up with
Scurry
boosts and a dumpster. It's not too hard, and you climb up onto the roof of a business that only now that you're on the roof, because you've never walked further up the street, you realize because there's a large sign on the roof advertising it as well as the signs on the thing. You find yourself on the roof of a business known as Burrito Bandito.
Burrito
Bandito.
Oh my god, this is destiny!
And I drew a logo of this place too, which I'm very proud of.
Oh my god.
Can I walk around the corner and look at it?
Oh no, I wanted.
It's adorable. Sorry, no.
I do like
You
that.
zoom in, you got to show it
do like that.
in the
They
very
won't be able to see
blurry
it.
screen
12
that
pixels.
no one will be able to see. It's sideways, you got to go this way. There goes your bandito.
That's as steep
You can't
as it
see it.
zooms.
There you go.
He's got a burrito in one hand and a
That's
little
adorable. I love
six-shooter in the other.
Can I just walk around the corner to see that it's a burrito stand?
It's a burrito
Stall.
business. A very stylish Mexican-themed restaurant serving burritos 24/7. They're supposedly good quality. 2 people are at the
24/7.
counter.
There should be a burrito place in town. That'd be lovely.
There should be. All right, I think we're cutting to Seb.
Cool.
We've all taken very different tags.
I walked up to the entrance of the glass slipper to try and enter after my failed attempt to prostitutes.
Well, they just aren't allowed in.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's their loss. Cool. This is my wording.
There is a doorman at the door, a rather heavy-set looking man.
I walk up to the door and try and enter. I don't even acknowledge him if possible.
Cool. Destiny roll. He says,
Wait. I look at him.
"What are you doing in this part of town?
Going for a drink. It's time to celebrate.
What are you celebrating?"
I'm alive.
Well, we don't let your kind in here without something special. Orders from the boss.
Can I pull out a credit card?
You just like loosely pull out a credit card.
With a Batman
He's
symbol.
like, "No, nothing like that, mate. Just step inside.
And I step
Welcome
inside.
in." Oi, he's one of them. Well, you can tell. And then he goes back to the door. And you walk up to like the demi-reception area, and there's a girl behind the counter. Nightclubs in 2090, still too similar to today. There is a scantily clad woman at the counter who is clearly been put there because of her appearance. And she smiles at you and then says, "Oh, hello. Free entry for you, of course."
Appreciate it.
And then she offers you a VIP wristband.
Love that.
It's like 50 jackets and like coats
There's a
and
coat
stuff
room
also
behind
around.
it. Yeah, there's a coat room behind
Yeah.
it.
I would
like
but
to
it's
take-
mostly empty because it's only 9 o'clock.
You know what? I will take off my fancy jacket.
Yep. And hand it to her. Okay. She gives you a coat tag and takes the jacket. Nice. And you enter the bottom. Most of the area that you go through, you sort of guide through the demi-reception door area, coat room, and then you go into a small little antechamber with a bar that is currently closed, that bar. And then it heads around a little corner, and then you see a large main dance floor, which has a few people milling in it. But it's largely empty. There's a second bar downstairs. There's also, you walk past a set of toilets. And downstairs in the corner, you spot a small roped off sort of VIP area that no one is in. And there's stairs that lead up to balconies in the main dance rooms.
Okay,
And
but
you assume there's like a couple of doors that say like staff only downstairs as well.
So in my perusal, I don't see Kanan and Co.
No. There's probably only about 10 people in here.
Who are they?
Just,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. Okay.
Good roll.
You see...
Whatever that
was
means
a
in this
19.
scenario.
Look, mostly they just seem like harmless. You don't spot any people that have the same gang tats or anything downstairs currently. They look like the early crowd who've maybe had dinner earlier and it's finished earlier than they thought, and they've just gone to the club to get in before like the lines and stuff. But yeah, there's
Is there any groups that I see that I think I could ingratiate myself with? Like just...
there's a, not really groups. There's a guy who seems to be like about 60 years old, and he's wearing like really, really, really up-to-date fashion. He's got like a chain and like shirt. He's like really club fashion, 100% up-to-date, and he's just like dancing on his own on it, and he looks very approachable. But other than that, they all look really cliquey.
If that's the case, I'm going to take a seat at the bar.
You're like, yeah, nah.
Survey the room while I have a
You
drink.
do have a VIP bar wrist as well, so you go to the VIP.
I'll go into the VIP. Yeah, fuck that. I'll go to the VIP area with a drink.
Okay, you get a drink, head to the VIP area, and sit on your own in the small roped area. From your position of that roped area, you can look up and you can see that there is another bar and like seats and tables upstairs for people to look down. Currently, the stairwell up has a velvet rope across it. You get the impression that several areas, including the bar at the entrance, are just not open yet because at probably 10, 11 o'clock they'll start to open up.
No worries. I'll continue to have a
Start,
drink
yeah.
while broadcasting through my fancy glasses, just to let them know
You
what's
guys
inside.
see this like
Yeah.
While looking around.
Skyrocketing.
this like 60-year-old man with like the
Yeah.
sickest clothes on, dancing really well as
Love
well.
it. At this point, are we sort of resyncing time-wise?
Well, now he's going to be there probably for like half an hour without anything interesting happening.
So I get on the roof, sort of indicate to Eve, I'm like, see what else you can scout around here. Let's stay in comms, and I'm going to investigate this drive. Good job, by the way. Well, I hope.
Yeah.
Who knows what Bernie has. I look skeptically at the drive. At which point I sort of, interface with it just to start my scans and basically just sort of...
So you looking out onto the street first from the rooftop? Can I get you make another stealth check?
Yep. Challenge level.
Probably only 2, but you don't get your advantage against technology.
Okay.
I think Slummers is against... Yeah, you good. You fixed it. You just
2.
make it. Cool. You stealthily stealth and sneak up to like the ledge of the building, and you kind of half behind it, and you're very... Imagine like the bars that support the sign, and you can kind of hide in there and look out as well as do your work on your computer. So what are you paying attention to first?
So I'm slumped, basically get a scope of everything, and I just want to sort of, get a feel for the area and just see what I can see in the building before I start dissecting this hardware.
In all the buildings around you?
No, glass slipper primarily, but I'll sort of get
I'll
it
just give you the
overall.
names. And Jen, what are you doing?
I am...
Also, the burger joint was called Street Slide. It never got
Oh,
named.
wait, the other one.
It has a name. It's a joint that serves sliders.
Nice. I'm going to go back up with Jane. Jane, sorry.
Jane? Okay. Cool. So from none of you work out what this building is. But directly across from Burrito Bandito, there is a medical clinic, and there is what is pretty obviously a sex shop called Desire's Dalliance. There are robot sex dolls in the window, very brashly displayed.
Is that a 24-hour clinic?
24-hour medical clinic.
Great.
Cool. Fuck it, I'm just going to tell you what it is. And here is beer.
Oh, well, we kind of knew it.
Well, yeah.
But you don't know anything about beer yet.
Cool. All right.
Great.
I sort of, with the vantage point, just describe all the different shops and just sort of say, may want to check out anything of those, just get your bearings.
Cool. And then you start hacking.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep like an open monologue of what I'm seeing.
Make
Sitting in the bar, the
perception.
VIP area, there's no one around, small groups.
Can you look for cameras?
So I'll start
Yeah,
to feed
I'll
you
look-
information
I'll look at cameras.
as the night progresses, basically, because it's going to slowly filter in as people come in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's
2.
fine.
I'm going to assume you're pretty much successfully going to automatically observe anything that happens. in
Yeah,
your
like I've
location.
got nothing else to do. I'm literally sitting in the VIP area, having a drink, looking around, and just relaying everything
Yeah.
that I think of note.
Cool. What did you get?
Perception
2. You notice that the glass slippers are a 3-story building. And across from you, weirdly enough, there's like an old and defunct, you can tell it's defunct with your knowledge. There's like a thick cable leading from the top of the sign, the Burrito Bandito sign, and it crosses across the street and goes directly onto the rooftop of the 2nd floor of Desire's Dalliance, where there are some air conditioning units that you can tell you'd be able to climb onto the roof of the glass slipper from.
Interesting. I relay this and be like, just letting you guys know I might be able to get across at some point. I mean, it might be sooner rather than later if activity picks up.
Does it look like the opposite's possible? Going from
No, it
Glass
slides
slipper.
down slightly.
noted.
Did you find what was in the hard drive?
He's
Message.
We'll get to that next episode because
Okay.
it's 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So we'll in episode 20 at the start. Next week is going to be a longer episode. It's going to be the finale. So
That's
expect like
Maybe we start on time.
no, we will for sure.
Yeah.
We won't be chatting with Twitch as much. So Anything else we'd like to finish scouting out before we...
Just meet up with Shane and wait for orders.
Yeah.
Cool?
Got a
Oh, is there something else?
No, every single... It's the thing of being a narrator. It's like every single building has cool people in it, and I don't expect you to meet them all, but I'm just like, okay.
I'm petrified of walking alone.
Yep, that's fair.
That's if Shane wants to come with me, I'm happy, but she clearly doesn't want to be seen by cameras, so I can't.
Yeah.
I can't risk it.
Cool. I mean, I guess the zip line could be best saved till next week, but I feel like we've made some good bearings.
Yeah, well, look, we can...
Let me hack the hard drive. Let me do that at least. Let's see what we have to work with.
I think Dave just said he's going to say that for next.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to ruin the suspense.
Will it ruin the suspense or create a cliffhanger or some information that we can open up with?
Yeah, what's that cliffhanger?
Huh?
What's that cliffhanger?
Yeah, at the moment we're all in position. I'm going to hack...
That's the point. The cliffhanger is you're all in position. And then next episode we get the finale.
Where's the drama?
It's the denial. The drama is denial of satisfaction.
That's shit drama. I'm going to hack a hard drive.
If he rolls like terribly,
Okay.
it'll fail, I guess.
Oh shit, who just walked into the glass slipper? I'm kidding.
I can do that.
Yeah,
That is how it's going to end the episode.
All right, hacking check.
Yep. Challenge level 4.
Oh my god.
Well, it's just difficult.
That's-
Skilled is 3.
Do you have any
So 3 is like a specialized task. 4 is a difficult specialized task. So it has a firewall or it's encrypted.
Fuck. Can I assist with anarchistic cybermancy to sort of like...
I'm going to say yes,
Disrupt it.
but if you do, I will be rolling a destiny dice, and if I roll low, you will destroy the hard drive.
All right.
Cool.
Risk it for the biscuit.
That's... I don't have many options. Okay. Chat assist. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I
So
get
you
plus
get 1 additional
1.
win. Destiny roll.
Oh,
A
come
1.
on.
You asked
I
for
thought
it.
you said
You asked for it. This is all on you.
Yep.
That's like the third one you've had this entire
You need to stop
campaign.
forcing rolls.
And pushing the anarchistic cybermancy, attempting to use his talents and skills for something that are completely unrelated to his talents and skills. The hard drive locks up, fries, and sparks burst out of it.
Fuck. Oh, god damn. I hope something useful was not on that.
I gave up my heroin and my
Eve.
Eve has come so far. Episode 1, can I help you? Episode 19, I gave up my heroin for this.
God damn it. Let me just see what I would have got.
Okay.
This was my
the
hacking
woulda.
roll, which I failed abysmally. So,
But
you know,
at least it wouldn't have been busted for the next time.
do you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad it's busted because you know what? Ending on a 1 dice roll and a ruined hard drive is a much more interesting endpoint for next episode to begin with.
You know what else next episode's going to begin with?
What?
As Seb looks up to the top balcony and sees 2 familiar faces sit down and look down into the bar.
Are they familiar to me?
You've seen their dossiers that were put in front of you. As Kanan, Raufi, and Nikolai, I think it's Nikolai. Who would know?
Now that feels
wiki.
like more of an ending to an episode.
It's Bagrov.
You're welcome.
It's Bagrov Nikolayev. It's a hard name.
Oh, that's amazing. You got to hit rock bottom for the next episode to feel even more satisfying when we...
Ricky just Bagrov Nikolayev.
He's on it. I was going to say, who would know? I'm like, the wiki. The wiki would know. It's
And Ricky is the wiki.
tabletop.fandom.com.
Would it make you feel better? No, I won't even tell you. I will never tell you what was on that hard drive. Ever. But you tell me a gift for our viewers because they didn't get that. You tell me a building on this list that you are never going to walk into.
Yeah, you guys pick.
Which was the one that has the zipline?
Desires
I'm on-
Dalliance, the sex shop. The dodgy sex
I
shop.
want to know what beer is.
You want to know what
Buzzed.
beer is?
I bet you it's beer.
Alright, rock, paper, scissors between buzzed and beer. Rob wins. Buzzed. Alright, the business you never went into and the people you'll never know are It's a retro gaming place as well. Tattooed by person. You never met the receptionist Buddy, who's everyone's buddy, and Isla, the sort of goth punk tattoo artist girl, who was gonna offer to make your little gang permanent, the Burrito Banditos.
Stop.
All right. See you in the next video.
Not before we take a moment to thank our patrons.
Well, let's take more than one moment. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
do one.
AJ Macy.
You can do this one.
No, Rob can do this one.
Yell hair! Christopher's mum has just beaten cancer. We're so happy for them.
That is lovely.
That's
Congrats.
amazing. So happy.
Professor X, thank you very much.
Sagacity Lost.
Karen Wen.
Happy very late birthday, Tickle Duck. Happy birthday, Saga City Lost. Pamela. Happy.
Sagacity.
Aww.
Keep going, keep going.
Happy birthday, AJ Macy.
And for the first time, finally, Yell hair Trish herself!
And Rainaya.
Thank you so much for all your support, everyone.
Everyone,
We love you all.
our Twitch viewers,
and all of our other
our
tiers of patrons
podcast
as well. We absolutely
listeners,
love you.
our Patreon
Thank you
folk.
so much.
Everyone.
Welcome back.
We have so many supportive and amazing people. We're up to the finale next week.
Are we-
Guys,
I'm
we gonna miss
actually... I'll miss it, but I'm also so excited for the next one.
yeah.
I'm so nervous.
Really?
Because I have to be a player. Narrating's easy for me.
Really?
Playing is hard.
No, I'm so
Well,
keen. Fantasy's my vibe.
Well, I think at the end of the day, we're all up for a good time. I'm nervous too, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to tell you to subscribe because it's habit. Even though everyone watching this has just watched
Yeah, these are
19
the
goddamn
these are the
episodes.
committed viewers.
Yeah, no, there's no point saying that other than thank you for watching and for your support. We'll see you guys
Episode 20 will be a long one.
in the finale. It will be a long one. This was a long one. This is an hour and a half.
Oh,
That is long.
This
for
is a
us.
long one.
Episode
But next
20
week
will
is
be a
going to be
long
like
one.
at least 2 hours.
No, probably 2 hours.
Yeah, probably even a
Get
little more.
get some popcorn and
How
some
did we get
Twinkies.
How did this happen?
We're going to get straight into it. All right. How did what
There was
happen?
a dice in my
He's
armpit.
pocketing some
It's
dice.
because that beautiful merch, which is still currently on discount for a limited time, is a magnet to all things gaming. And with that, bye.
See ya.